this is gonna be another spicy one. Yep, I can feel it. I can feel it. The first 5 people to ignore every valid point that I make in this video and comment Sony Pony below will win 1,000 internet points. 1 for every planet in Starfield. Welcome back, gamers, and if you're new around here, welcome to the channel, gamer. And today I have a little video for you guys on my honest impressions, my honest thoughts on the next big Xbox first-party exclusive game, Starfield. The next big Bethesda RPG birthed from the wet video game womb of Todd Howard himself. Okay, I might have gone too far with the analogy on that one. Anyway, there is a lot of hype surrounding this new game, and for many reasons. 1, it's a Bethesda game, and they have made games that many people regard as incredible in the past. Recent offerings have been... yeah. 2, it's a space game, and who doesn't love a bit of space? And 3, Starfield is an Xbox and PC first-party exclusive game from Xbox Studios. And the tensions are running high for them over at Xbox and the Xbox community. Because the last few years haven't been what you would call full of games from Xbox. In fact, Starfield might be the very next exclusive we actually see from Xbox Studios, and that's coming in 2023. And the last one we got was Halo back in 2021. So it's been a while. Yeah, so a lot's riding on Starfield, as you can tell. I would not like to be Todd Howard right now, I'll tell you that, boys. Okay, now that we know what's at stake, let's talk about how I felt about the Starfield gameplay that we saw at the Xbox and Bethesda showcase just yesterday. I am hopeful for this game. There are a lot of things that look really cool. I mean, just the concept of a space game and space exploration in a video game is so cool. Sci-fi is one of my favorite genres. I just feel so excited anyone even talks about space games. I've not played the original KOTOR game, but the KOTOR remake coming out in a couple of years' time, whenever it does, has me excited because it's Star Wars, it's sci-fi, it's just exactly what I want. It's a bit of fantasy in there too, it's great. So there's a lot of that kind of feeling that I have for Starfield here, based on what we saw yesterday. Starfield was my favorite game that they showed at the event. They showed it in the best way, in my opinion. Snippets of gameplay, mixed in with little explanations of different aspects of the game, like base building and ship customization. Those were the coolest parts, in my opinion. And then a tease of a deep sci-fi story, which just got its hook into me, and I was like, okay, this could be my thing. This could be my thing. I'm gonna be all up in that sci-fi story. But, and there's a big but, a few of the elements surrounding the story was concerning, to say the least. Those things being the vastness of the game with its 100 systems and 1,000 planets, they said. The combat, and a personal one, which if you disagree with, that's totally fine. This is like an opinion-based thing. The character that you play as. Let's not delay anymore, let's just jump right into it, shall we? My biggest concern for Starfield is how big the game is going to be. Todd Howard told us the game would have around about 100 systems and a total of around about 1,000 planets. Systems similar to our solar system with stars, planets, moons. Planets you can explore freely by landing on any part of it without the need for finding a specific landing pad or spaceport. It's completely open for you to explore, and that sounds worrying. I mean, are all those planets going to be worth visiting, and all the sides of the planet going to be worth visiting? I'm inclined to think no, because the task of filling so many planets and so many areas is a Herculean task. Does any studio have the manpower to fill all of those planets, all areas of those planets, with meaningful content? Meaningful quests, Easter eggs, and places worth exploring? On all 1,000 planets? Because in interactive content like video games, you have to have meaningful content in those places, or what's the point in even having them? Are most of them going to be empty planets with no life on them or no reason for existing outside of maybe mineral farming? Are they? Oh, but Eddie, it's authentic. I mean, our solar system has 8 planets and only one of them has life on it. This is scientifically accurate. Yes, it is. And boring. Yes, I agree with you that if 1 in 8 of the 1,000 planets that are going to be in Starfield have life on them or are worth exploring in the first place, then it will be more realistic and accurate to life as we know it. That leaves over 800 of the 1,000 planets with absolutely nothing on them, except maybe some mineral farming. 800 planets with no life? Does that sound like fun gameplay to you? In movies, whenever they do something that has boring elements to it, they really do like to bend the truth, or sometimes remove parts of the boring stuff out entirely. Like in The Martian. A key moment is when Mark Watney digs up an old probe called Pathfinder, and he uses it as a form of communication so he can communicate with Earth and then get the rest of the plan underway and save himself by the end of the movie. And because of good writing, he knew exactly where the probe was. The probe happened to be really close to him, and then when he got there, it was in the first place that we saw him dig. Boom! Communication with Earth. All the boring stuff in between cut out and conveniently written so that everything is interesting and enjoyable. What if he didn't know exactly where Pathfinder was on Mars? What if they showed us the other 400 holes that he dug in order to find Pathfinder? 400 other holes 10 feet deep for him to be able to find where this probe is. The movie would be an extra 80 hours long and boring as all hell. So they cut it. And why is that? Because it's boring and it takes all the fun out of the movie. Now imagine that you're going to do all of that kind of stuff, rolling up to a planet, not knowing what you're going to find or if you're even going to find anything, 1,000 times in a video game. And then nearly 9 out of the 10 of the times that you explore a planet, you find nothing. It's just boring, and I really hope they're not trying to go for scientific accuracy just for the sake of saying, hey, this is what space is like, guys. You can't blame us for it. This is what space is like. We're doing it accurately. This is the universe you live in. Maybe you could get away with the argument if this was a simulator, but this isn't. This is supposed to be a role-playing game. I'm looking for something curated, for something interesting, for something that's going to make me go, wow. And this has me concerned just for that. I hope I'm getting all worked up over nothing. That's my preferred outcome for all of this. But it's not like game makers haven't made terrible decisions before, and they also haven't made games bigger just for the sake of making them bigger, right? Ubisoft. I don't know, man. It's not going to stop me from playing the game, from getting my $1 Game Pass code and redeeming it when Starfield finally releases. It's not going to stop me from doing that and everyone else doing that, I'm sure. But it's just concerning because it means that it's going to be yet again something else that we was looking forward to just dissolving in front of our eyes like Cyberpunk was. Not to take shots or anything, but we had really high hopes for that. And I'm getting a similar sort of feeling for Starfield. I don't know if it's just me, but yeah. Let me know if you guys are at all worried about the size and scope and all these planets and stuff like that. Maybe there's something that you guys can say that will convince me to go, actually, you know what? Maybe I'm making a mountain out of this molehill. Yeah, let me know. The next thing that concerns me about Starfield is the combat. The gameplay that we saw at the event showed some terrible combat. I mean, truly terrible combat. The first guy you shoot gets hit with an entire clip of your weapon and doesn't even flinch, and the rest of the trailer was full of more jank like that, and it didn't look like it would be good at all. It looked horrible to play. That was my feeling I got from seeing the way that the combat played out. Granted, there was a bit of performance issues as well. It seemed like it was running at like 20 frames per second or something like that, but the game isn't out yet. Maybe there's polishing to do and stuff like that, but a little bit concerning. But that's how it felt. Oh, but Eddie, it's a Bethesda game. All Bethesda games have bad combat. Oh, well, that's fine then. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, okay, we should just accept it. They should be able to put bad elements in their games and be free of criticism because they've never done it well before. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we should just accept that. Yeah, sure. No, that just doesn't get a free pass with me. I'm not asking for gunplay at the level of Destiny, although that would be very cool. But all I was expecting was something that was at least passable. Something that was worth putting in the game, because right now, the way that it looks like a con. It looks like a detractor from the game. And I don't understand this argument of people who are just accepting that Bethesda's combat is bad, so it's okay for this one to be bad. I don't understand why they simply get a pass, because it's never been cracked before, just because they've never been able to do it well before. As time goes on, you're supposed to get better at things, work harder at things, and build upon the stuff that you learned from before. Surely someone as big as Bethesda Game Studios could ask someone like, oh, I don't know, maybe like id Software, maybe ask for some pointers to try and get the combat, the shooting into something passable. Surely they could do that. It does boggle my mind that a publisher that has so many other studios under its belt that does first-person shooting or shooting in general in very good ways that are from passable to extremely great, like with Doom, how they can't seem to take just some of that magic, just to go, you know what? Can you give us some pointers? We're missing something here. I'm surprised they can't get a little bit of that information. They can't just work together a little bit. I will say though, the part of the game where the guy jumps in the air and then jetpacks forward and then starts shooting, it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope, I'm not gonna lie. And the final thing that concerns me, like I said, is a personal one, so don't take it to heart and don't feel like this is the hill I'm dying on. Like everything else was just minor stuff and this was the big one, you know, is that I don't like how your character doesn't speak. I know a bunch of you guys are gonna say, oh, Bethesda games, this is Bethesda RPGs, their characters don't speak, and the one time they did try to do it in Fallout 4, it was terrible. Josh, you don't even know what you're talking about. I know what you're saying already. The facts remain though that other RPGs do it, and they do it very well. The voiced characters and the choices that they make, the things that they say out loud, to me personally, like deepens that bond, and it makes me feel like a badass, the badass that they're portraying with this voice actor. The lifeless, voiceless character that you play in, the one that was in the demo here, just... it doesn't vibe with me. It's something that I can't get into, and it pulls me out of the game. It makes me feel like I'm not a badass. It makes me just feel ordinary. But for some, I know this is completely different. I know that some people say that with it being voiceless, it's like I'm in the driver's seat and that everything that I do is the badass stuff that's being done. And I understand that. You know, it's just personally what we feel like here, you know, this is just one of the things. Oh, and one more thing, so the final thing, some places of the game look really good, and then some places of the game don't look so good. Like when you're looking out like a big open area, like, wow, that's cool. That's some sci-fi stuff right there. You see these cool, like, futuristic sci-fi buildings. You see big open landscapes. You're like, yeah, great. But then sometimes you see, like, some of the wildlife walking, and you're like, that looks weird. That looks odd. Something's off there. Like, it's not actually on the floor or something like that. And then, like, the way that the people move, the enemies, like I said, it was like they were moving at a different frame rate. It was so choppy and stuff like that. And then also the NPCs that you talk to, when you're talking to them and you're like, it's just them in front of you and then the background's all blurred, they seem kind of lowish texture quality. I mean, coming off of the back of things like Horizon Forbidden West, where we've seen NPCs and our character just look freaking fantastic, for a cross-gen game, which that is what Horizon Forbidden West is, and Starfield, which is a next-gen only, a current-gen only game, it seems odd. It seems weird. I don't know. That's just the feeling that I got from that. I didn't particularly like that. There were some bits that looked gorgeous. There were some nice lighting effects. But then other places were just like, that doesn't look very good. No, that doesn't. Anyway, those are my criticisms of the gameplay trailer that we saw at the Bethesda Games Showcase, Xbox and Bethesda Showcase. Let me know in the comment section if you had any concerns or if there's anything awesome that you thought they did. Let me know if you think that anything that I said was wrong. I'm happy to hear your criticisms of what I said. I'm not always going to be right, and I'd like to hear what you guys have, your rebuttal. That'd be awesome. Yeah, so let me know in the comment section. All right, guys, I'll catch you all in the next one. Have a good day, and keep on gaming, gamers. Yeah.